You are now watching The Beach.
Mario Kart World is one of my most anticipated games of all time, while simultaneously being one of the most concerning games. It's insane how the reveal went from pure hype to a ton of discourse and concern. Rightfully so, and it goes beyond the price. But Nintendo just confirmed that Mario Kart World is missing yet another important feature. But what is that feature? It has been confirmed that Mario Kart World is not launching with 200cc. First they got rid of 3 battle modes, then it was pretty much confirmed that the game only has 32 tracks, with 2 of them being repeats. And now, we're missing a full-on CC. One that has been a mainstay since 2015. A class that has been in Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Kart Tour, and even Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. I've been concerned about Mario Kart World lacking content. What I've been predicting is that it's going to launch with a decent amount of content, but it will be missing important content from 8 Deluxe. I thought it would only be limited to the battle modes and a few characters missing, but nope, it is worse. However, there's a glimmer of hope, because Nintendo said that 200cc could be coming back with a future update. Yep, you heard that right. Mario Kart World is launching with features missing that will likely return with quote-unquote free updates. 8 years of development time, with important features and modes missing. This means that Mario Kart World is likely going to be a part of the genre of Nintendo games that launch with an unsatisfactory amount of content, but get finished later with free updates. But the question is, how bad is this going to be? Now, usually when you think of unfinished Nintendo games finished later with free updates, the notorious sports games come to mind. These are amongst the worst examples of Nintendo's finish it later games. I'd argue that even to this day, they're not finished games. But they're in the past, and thankfully, Nintendo hasn't released games as barren as them since 2022. But then you look at something like Splatoon 3. That game launched with an ample amount of content, but got supported with free updates and DLC. That right there is the right way to go about it. But judging Mario Kart World based on everything we know, and even after playing it, how unfinished do I think it's going to be? It's not going to be as barren as the sports games. That would be daft even to suggest. But it doesn't have the luxury of Splatoon 3, where that game launched with pretty much all the important features and modes returning from prior games. You might as well call Mario Kart World Mario Kart New Horizons. In case you didn't know, Animal Crossing New Horizons launched with a decent amount of content, had some really cool new additions, but it was missing fan-favorite features. Then as time went on, it got free updates. Most of these free updates brought back missing features. I will admit, I'm a more casual Animal Crossing fan, but in terms of being a Mario Kart fan, I am hardcore. I have played literally every game in the series, most of the arcade games except for Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix VR, and the lack of important features, it stings like a sting bee. Why is Mario Kart World similar to Animal Crossing New Horizons? Because the amount of content it likely launches with is still a decent amount. I say decent meaning that you'll definitely get hours out of the game, but it's going to feel underwhelming. And considering 200cc is being considered for a future update, that likely means it's going to happen. Pretty much confirmation. But the fact of the matter is, this shouldn't have even been an issue to begin with. Nintendo had more than enough time to develop Mario Kart World, and what we're getting after 11 years is quite frankly looking to be underwhelming. I still think Mario Kart World is going to be a good game. Like, if it were on a tier list, A or B good. But the problem is, it's not going to be S tier. Going from something incredible like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to something just good, that's a downgrade. That's not a good thing. And I just don't get it. Mario Kart is Nintendo's biggest franchise by a long shot. They had the blueprint to make one of the most mind-blowing games in years, but they didn't fully realize it. You have an open world, but no story to connect everything. Doesn't even need to be something grandiose, just something. Free roam seems like an afterthought and not the star attraction. You have 3 battle modes missing, and the battle arenas don't have distinct unique themes. 32 tracks is still low. And now, no 200cc. I know it's not even the worst case of a free update Nintendo game, but my goodness! It's crap like this that makes me miss the GameCube and Wii era that much more, where Nintendo's games were pretty much guaranteed to launch jam-packed with content day one. That was the beauty of that era, because once a game released, that was it. There was no turning back once that disc hit the shelves. I will say, most of Nintendo's single-player offerings are complete day one and have an ample amount of content, but with the multiplayer games, it really goes either way. You could have something like Splatoon 3 that has a ton of content day one, but then you could have something like Nintendo Switch Sports that's a complete opposite. And unfortunately, Mario Kart World is on track to launch underwhelming. Before wrapping things up, I feel a lot of genuine criticism of Nintendo has been lost in a sea of negative for the sake of being negative videos, really just grasping for straws. No, Nintendo wasn't gaslighting by having 2 Nintendo Directs in a row. That's so stupid, and it's just using a fancy buzzword for clicks. And then you have stuff like, is the hype for the Nintendo Switch 2 manufactured? Because Nintendo gave retailers a sign that says, out of stock. No, it can't be. A new generation after nearly a decade? And a new Mario Kart, and especially Donkey Kong, after 11 years without new entries? Totally manufactured, guys. How can Nintendo fans possibly be excited? There's no way. But on the flip side, I've been seeing comments defending stuff like Mario Kart World only having 32 tracks, and now lacking 200cc. Well, Mario Kart 8 launched with 32 tracks. What were you expecting? 200cc is very skill-based. Casuals just aren't comfortable playing it. 200cc was just an extra mode and it was added as a free update in the original Mario Kart 8. Why settle for less? This is a game that's been 8 years in the making. Standards change. Things evolve. The standard should be at least 48 tracks, 5 battle modes, and having all CCs. And to the people defending stuff like this, let me ask you something. What do you have to gain defending Mario Kart World missing features? What do you have to gain defending Pokemon games that didn't get fixed until an entirely new console generation? What do you have to gain gloating about pre-orders selling out for the Switch 2? Being like, guess those boycotts really worked after all, let's go Nintendo! First of all, we don't know what's gonna happen with launch. I'm pretty sure that the system sales at first will be really strong. But what the future holds is still uncertain, especially seeing if parents and casuals will accept the prices. And second off, Nintendo is not your friend. You can love their products and still be critical of them. These games and franchises have left a huge impact on many people's lives, but when people criticize things like the games and the Switch 2 price, they're not criticizing you. They're solely criticizing the games and products and nothing more. This is probably the last video I'm gonna make about Mario Kart World before launch. I'll be doing a full review of it, as well as a video where I cover Mario Kart 8 Deluxe versus Mario Kart World. I'm expecting I'll enjoy the new features and tracks, and I'll have a good time with the game. But I'm unfortunately certain at this point I'm going to be, at the very least, slightly underwhelmed. Special shout out to Glitzy Terror, Cullen Wickham, Mevins2001, Remu, and FastFan07 for being channel members. You can join too, and get the shout out at the end of a video. Do you guys think Mario Kart World is unfinished? Let me know in the comments, and keep calm and da-da on.